Hi everyone, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads. Join me in playing with our new 2-hole halo beads in making the Lunar Pendant. Gather up your materials, which were just listed, as well as there's links below the video near that comment, the like, and the subscribe button. Get your links there to purchase from us at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. So the first thing to start the Lunar Pendant is to have on your size 10 needle some 0.006 wildfire beading thread. I'm using black so that way you can see it well, and I have a stop bead on the end of my thread, leaving just about an inch of thread after that stop bead. To begin, we're going to begin by connecting the 4 beads that are going to create kind of that spaceship solar look through one of the first holes of those 2-hole halo beads, and we're going to space them out with a 11-0 between each, and we're going to drop into the middle our RounTrio bead. You can do any 6mm bead that is 2-hole. You could do a 2-hole cab, and if you happen to do smaller beads, that's up to you as well. That gives it a completely different look. I'm going to be using the Dusty Violet Luster in the RounTrio in addition to the copper beads here. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick up my first halo and drop that down next to that stop bead. Pick up one of the RounTrio beads, and you want to do that by the outer hole of the RounTrio. I'm going to sew straight across so that way I'm going through the hole on the other side of the halo bead that is going to be right across from the first hole, making sure basically that you're not going from one hole to the other by accident. From here, add an 11-0 seed bead and continue the same thing 3 more times. So go ahead into your halo bead, add your RounTrio through that one hole there. From here, go through the next hole of that halo bead on the opposite side. Let that all drop down next to one another, add another 11. And the 11-0s that I'm using are the Miyuki black hematite color, which is a check coating on a Miyuki seed bead. And after you add your third one here, you get one more 11 in, and then we're gonna do our 4th. As you're doing your 4th bead and getting the final one in, we're gonna finish with an 11-0, so that way we round it out. Finishing then with one more 11-0. I want you to go back to that starter side, go into that first hole there of the halo as well as the RounTrio, and out to the other side. Pulling that tight then, you will see that that gets your center of your pendant. And make sure to give a nice little tight pull because we don't want to see any extra thread showing. From here, we're going to kind of stabilize it, get the second tier on with our RounDuo minis, and then we'll come back and add more seed beads in to kind of fluff up that solar pendant. To add in the RounDuo minis, we're going to step up from the first hole of this halo bead here in the center to the second hole. To do so, the thread is coming out the side of the halo bead interior towards the center. We're going to take it through the top hole as well as through the exterior hole, the most exterior hole of the RounTrio. It's going to expose a little bit of thread on the outside, but by the time we add in the seed beads, you really will not see it. From here, we're going to go around, catching in that second hole of both the trio as well as that 2-hole halo bead. And in between there, we are going to be adding one 11-0, our RounTrio mini, mini RounDuo, and then another 11-0. So 11-0, RounDuo mini, 11-0, and then you're going to hop over to the next hole of that 2-hole halo, and while you're going through there, go ahead and spin that RounTrio around kind of in there so that way you can get onto the second hole of that. If you have trouble getting it through on the first time, you can just go through the hole of the halo bead and then come back and kind of position your RounTrio bead, making sure you're going through that other hole. There we go. And then out through that second hole of the halo bead as well. Once you get out through the halo, we're going to continue the whole way around, catching on to that second hole of the exterior halo bead here, joining in 111, one RounDuo mini, and 111. So getting ready now, I'm adding my last of my RounDuo minis as well as the 11Os, and you're sewing through your original halo bead there. It will be a little bit smaller and snugger, so the middle of those halo beads is going to come to the top. What I want to do to finish it out is go from that first RounDuo mini and go through the 11O, that RounDuo mini, and out the other side of the RounDuo mini. Give a nice tight little pull. And then again, like we did to the halo bead, we're going to step up from one hole, from that inner hole or one closest to the middle, to the outer hole. We're going to catch to the outer hole here of all of the RounDuo minis by adding in some 11O seed bead, kind of going the whole way around the exterior. We're going to be picking up the seed beads as well as then kind of going around the RounDuo minis and getting the look of it completely framed out. So just to show you so you don't have to watch me count to 11 over and over again, I went ahead and put on 11 seed beads and then went through the next hole of the next RounDuo mini. 11 more seed beads go on and through the next hole of the next RounDuo mini. Again, with the 11s, you're going to add those 2 more times in that quantity of 11. And once you're done adding 2 more 11s, then we're going to go around the circle 1 more time, which is going to allow us to decorate the exterior of that RounDuo mini, as well as add the point in along the seed beads too. So go ahead and add in 11 more seed beads, and then go ahead and go through your RounDuo mini that your thread was coming out of. So we'll go ahead here and add 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Go ahead then go through that RounDuo mini, and as you're going through the RounDuo mini, you're going to want to go through 5 of the 11O seed beads. When you come out through the 5th 11O seed bead, I want you to skip over the 6th and go into the next 5. What that's going to do, and you kind of want to push it towards the exterior, is it's going to pop that odd numbered bead right out towards the middle of the design and create a little bit of a point. Here on the exterior edges, we're going to decorate around the RounDuo mini. And to do so right now, I want you to use your 3 more 11O seed beads. Go over, sew through the next 5 11Os. Skip over number 6 so we get that point, and sew through the next 5. Again, when you come in here sewing through those 5, you're going to kind of push that seed bead towards the exterior, give a nice tight yank, and that'll force that to sit outward. 3 more 11s, and then through the next 5 11s that are already there. After you get through those 5, go ahead and skip number 6, just like we've been doing. Go through the next 5 and out. Again, just to show you, kind of push that bead towards the exterior, give a nice tight pull, and that's going to help to get that nice kind of rounded edges that we want while we're making this pendant. So adding in the last 3 beads here, we're going to add the last 3, go back through those first 5 seed beads again, not through the 6th one, and out. And then as we come around to the corners here on the RounDuo minis, one more time, what I want to do is something similar to what we did here to make these corners stick out. We are going to go through bead number 1 and bead number 3. So just like we did here to skip along the sides, we're going to reinforce that and continue to skip. You're also going to go through and skip the corner bead that is on the RounDuo mini. So we added 3 beads around those corners, and you are going to skip one and tighten that up. Go around the corner then, going through that row of seed beads again, not going through that 6 bead. And then as you come out that RounDuo mini, go through bead 1, come out, go through bead 3, and come out. Pull that down, and bead number 2 that sits in the middle will pop a little bit towards the middle and create a little bit of a peak. Now, is this necessary? No, it's not necessary, but I like that kind of geometric shape that the doing the trim is actually creating. So in here, give that nice tight pull. Pop that bead out on the corner, and you can see that corner edging that's starting to happen. And as we go in and kind of bring those beads back to center here, it'll just be exaggerating the look of the pendant and hang nicely with that tassel. So I have 2 more to do these 2, and then we'll join to you after we get that webbing effect, and we're going to come back in and kind of get these centers decorated as well. When you get to the point of going to the last one, what we're actually going to do is add on our wire guard here. That way it sits kind of at an angle. We'll add the tassel on one side and then the wire guard at the top, so that way when you go in and kind of have the wire guard, you won't have to have a lot of extra thread showing or a lot of extra seed beads. So coming out the top here near this last RounDuo mini, I want you to go through that first 11-0 just like we've been doing. Grab onto your wire guard and then go down the wire guard on the other side. If you want to, you can add your tassel in right now. I'm not going to have that hang and get in the way until I come down to do the opposite side. And running right down here, then we'll go through that last bead. So you're still skipping the middle bead, but instead of doing nothing, you're adding that wire guard, so you can see that kind of hang out at the bottom here. From here, I want to go through that RounDuo mini that sits right below, through that first hole. And then once I'm through the first hole, I'm going to go into the middle through the second hole, so we're coming out closer to the actual halo beads. When we come out closer to the halo beads, here's where we're going to go in and add those 15-0s to kind of make a bridge from the halos to those RounTrio minis, and to make it look more intricate and more kind of like a beaded bead. We're going to go in now and brighten up the piece a little bit and add in our 15-0 seed beads. To add in the 15-0 seed beads, you're coming out of an 11-0 near that RounDuo mini, and what we where we want to come out is out the 2-hold halo. So we're going to go through the halo, and we're going to go through that trio bead in the middle and the halo. Coming out through the halo, I want you to add 3 of your 15s. I picked these out in a silver lined light amethyst color just to brighten up the piece a little bit. And then you're going to grab on to the 11-0 that sits below those 2 round trios. In addition, then you're going to add 3 more of your 15-0s and go through the next second hole of the next halo bead. Come on out, make sure that you're not going through any of the seed beads. And you see that nice kind of V that's created. Go ahead and repeat that 4 times, adding in those seed beads, going through that middle bead, and then going and adding in 3 more seed beads and catching on to the exterior hole of that round trio, as well as the 2-hold halo. Again, this gets repeated multiple times as you're going around the circle in 4s. If you would want to do this, you could do it in a different kind of geometric pattern. So if you wanted the Lunar Pendant to be 3 round trios, you could try that out. See what you get. And as I go around here, I'll go into my last beads. Coming out. Adding in my last of my 4 beads. And then I'll go ahead and get down to the base and get ready to add the tassel. If you want to, you can add the tassel. If you don't want to look at the tassel, you don't have to add the tassel, so keep that in mind. And you're going to come out the last of your 2-hold halo beads as well as your trios. Going in and bringing the thread down towards the bottom, thread and needle towards the bottom. Make sure when you're coming out the other side, you don't catch on to any of those 15s that we just added. And then as you are coming out here with that fun design, go through the RounDuo mini that sits below as well as the 11-0. Step up, going to the exterior or the outer hole of that. And then as you come out to that bottom peak, you're gonna go through that first bead there that sits along that peak, just like we did on the other side. You are then going to add on your wire guard as well as your tassel. So go ahead and grab your next wire guard. I'm gonna be using a 2.5 millimeter gray tassel. Come in these little tubes, pull that out of there. And if you want to, you can either use seed beads to connect it, you can use the wire guards. Actually, second thought, I'm gonna bring some of that brightness down and let's use some seed beads to connect it. So I'll go ahead and put on 4 of my 15-0s. You could use a wire guard if you want. After those 4 15-0s, we are going to sew through the tassel. With the tassel, you'll be able to see kind of where you can sew right through, right along that line. Add 4 more seed beads. And sew through bead number 3 along that baseline. From here, then all you're gonna have to do is get the seed beads or the thread ends together, so that way you can tie off a knot. I'll show you here that tassel. You could also, if you want to have a lot of fun with that tassel and kind of with this pendant, you could actually stick a halo bead, just thinking about this, over the actual tassel itself. So you could kind of get this right on top of there and create that copper banding, or you could create the copper banding with some seed beads as well to add to the coloring here. So I add a little bit of seed beads. I actually like that because it brightens it up. And you can, like I said, if you want to, wrap some seed beads around here as well. All I need to do now to finish my lunar pendant is go in and tie off the ends and stick it onto an actual necklace, and you are good to go. Thanks so much for watching the lunar pendant. Remember, you can add a tassel, you can add some charms to the bottom, and really have fun working with those 2 whole new halo beads. Again, if you need any of the materials, near that like, subscribe, you can give that thumbs up button, are the links to purchase from us at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Remember also, if you're not a member of our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, go ahead and join that. It's a wonderful group where we show off the inspiration of others, get ideas, answer questions, and really help build that beading community. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your lunar pendant.